Hello, chess fans. This is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 145 in the series Viewers Games. If you would like your game to be analyzed on Chess to Impress, then you can send it to me by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. It's the turn of Georgia, and Georgia is from Serbia, and I'm pretty sure I completely messed up the pronunciation of his name. Apologies, Georgia, and apologies to any other Serbian viewers. Hi, Rick. My name is Georgia. I live in Serbia. I am your chess fan and want to show you a game which I finished a few minutes ago on chess.com. This is my first game online, I think. I live in the town of Pančevo, very near Belgrade, the capital city of my country, Serbia. I learned to play chess by my dad, I think. I was in elementary school, maybe first grade. Started to play more serious chess in second grade of high school when I defeated the unofficial best player there. In third grade I became the unofficial champion of my school. All of my games were over the board until last year when I made an account on chess.com because I wanted from you to show my game on the channel. And this game which I sent you was my first game there. I only play 30 minutes rapid time format because I think there is a good amount of time to think about moves. I am a player who never gives up, going always to the end, and that paid me off many times when I draw or even won losing or drawish games. Surrendering is not what I appreciate and do not recommend to others. Thanks in advance for showing my game. Hope we will play at least one game sometime and wish you luck in YouTube career and in life too. My opponent in this game was Slain Power from the USA, rated 1349 with the black pieces, and my username is Volianu, and they gave me a rating of 1400. Time format, as said, was 30 minutes each, and I just want to say never give up, and when you look at this game you will know what I mean. Well, let's have a look at that game. Georgia is white and he played e4 and his opponent played the French defense. d4, d5 and Georgia plays a quiet variation, the exchange variation. And here bishop d3 or knight f3 are the main moves according to the database, but Georgia plays c4. Knight f6 and knight c3, it looks like a queen's gambit without the e-pawns, which of course makes a big difference to the characteristics of the position. Black played bishop e7, knight f3, castling from black, and now bishop e2 has been played at grandmaster level, also bishop d3, but c5 is Georgia's choice, a rare move, giving up the tension in the center. b6 from black, b4 and a5, the pawn structure on the queen side looks like it walked away from a drafts game, or checkers as it is called in some countries. Queen a4 from Georgia, bishop d7 attacking the queen, and queen a3, and that's not a good square for the queen. I talked before in this series about talking to your pieces, and if you would have a little conversation with the queen on a3, Georgia, then she would tell you that she was much happier on her initial square on d1 than here cornered on the a3 square. Knight c6, b5, kicking that knight, and the knight went to b4, and that is a threat with knight c2 check. That would be a royal fork, winning white's queen. So Georgia has to do something about that. He saw it and played queen b3, and now bishop f5. Rook b1 from Georgia, played after 2 minutes and 47 seconds. And why can you not just take that rook? Well, you can. That wins an exchange for black, but black has even stronger, and black found it after rook b1. He played knight c2, check. And after king e2, white's position looks like somebody shook out a sack of potatoes onto the board. His pieces are randomly scattered around the board. B takes c5, bishop e3 and a4. Black had several ways to play and enjoy a large advantage, but he decides to checkmate the white queen, which was very nicely done. Let's have a look how that happened. The queen is attacked, only has one square. Queen b2, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and that opened the way for the bishop on e7 to go to a3. And this is a nice picture. The white queen is checkmated, has no squares. But Georgia never gives up, as he told us in the introduction. Knight takes f5, bishop takes b2, and rook takes b2. White has two minor pieces for the queen, which can be enough in some exceptional circumstances, but it is not enough here. Knight takes e3, f takes, and rook e8. King d2 from Georgia, queen d7, bishop d3, g6, knight d4, and knight g4. Georgia played the knight back to d1, protecting his e-pawn, and now c5 was played by black. The engine likes queen e7 instead to activate the queen, which is now looking at nice squares on both the king side as well as the queen side. But c5 was played by black, attacking the knight, but Georgia took that pawn en passant. B takes c6. There's no need to give white a protected passed pawn on the 6th rank. And that's why queen e7 was a better move than c5. Queen e7 was played now, rook e1, and queen h4. Georgia played h3, attacking the knight, and here knight takes e3 is the strongest move in the position. After rook takes, there is queen takes d4, and if instead you take with the knight, then there is also queen takes d4, and the queen is very powerful on d4. Black has won another pawn in the process and has a winning position with his extra material. So after h3, knight takes e3 is the best move in the position, but knight f2 was played by black. That knight was taken, queen takes check, rook interposes, and queen back to h4. Bishop b5 from Georgia, rook ec8, rook b4, rook a b8, and a3. It is hard to imagine that this pawn on a3 will promote on b8 up there in less than 15 moves from here. Quite astonishing what happened in this game. Queen f6 was played by black. Bishop takes a4, picks up that pawn, and now queen d6 is the best move according to the engine, but black took on b4 instead, swapped a pair of rooks. A takes b4. The rule of thumb is that you want to swap pieces when you're material ahead, but not if it gives your opponent two far advanced connected passed pawns. Then it is not such a good idea. Black already has to be careful here. Queen d6 is the strongest move in the position as pointed out by the engine. Then you cannot play b5 to set those pawns in motion, because after b5 there is queen b4 check, and that's a double attack, winning the bishop. King d1, queen takes a4 check, and now black is really too much material up. So after queen d6, white has to protect the b pawn. King c3 can be played, and then f5 says the engine, and black is still better. But after a takes b4, queen d6 was not played. Black played queen f1, and that is the queen going in the wrong direction, because now Georgia can push that b pawn, b5, and those pawns look more and more dangerous. Queen a1, attacking the bishop, bishop b3, queen b2 check, king e1, queen c1 check, and king f2. Black's last number of queen moves has achieved nothing other than chasing white's king to quite a safe home on the king side. Objectively, white now has enough compensation for the queen with his passed pawns and bishop and knight. In a practical game, white's position is much easier to play than black's. The queen is an incredible strong piece, but she can't do everything by herself. Let's continue. Queen c5 should have been played here, and then the engine gives rook c2 and queen b6 to control the very dangerous passed pawns. White then can win a pawn, and then king f8 says the engine, and black is hanging on. But after king f2, queen c5 was not played by black. He played rook a8, activating the rook. Georgia keep going forward with those pawns. They're both on the 6th rank now, and white is better now. Especially after rook a1, double question mark this move, are played after 47 seconds. Black is burning all bridges behind him. You can only do this if you're sure that the attack on the king with queen and rook works. In this case, there's not much of an attack, and white's pawns stroll to the queen in square without meeting any resistance. b7 was played by Georgia. Queen f1 check. There comes the attack from black. But after king g3, the attack is already over. That was black's attack, which consisted of exactly one check. The king is perfectly safe on g3. Rook b1. That move doesn't do anything, and Georgia promoted his b-pawn. Remember that pawn was on a3 not so long ago. Now it is on b8, and it is a queen. King g7, and now Georgia has got his queen back and his 2 pieces up. He has an extra bishop and knight. Queen e5 check, king g8, and there goes the c-pawn. Rook c1, queen e8 check, king g7, and Georgia promotes for the second time. That queen is taken, queen takes, and that has won another rook for white, for Georgia. Queen takes e2 was played here by black. Played after 3 seconds. Black must have been very upset. That rook was just protected, and Georgia, no mercy. He took the queen. Let's see how this game finished. King h6, queen f8 check, king g5. There goes another pawn. The mating net is closing. King h6. And if you now want to look for yourself, what is the quickest checkmate here? What is mate in 2? There's only one way. And that is the very nice move king g4, which was not played. Black only has 2 legal moves after g5. Queen f6 is checkmate. And the nicest one is after d5, d4. Then queen f8 is a very nice checkmate. Nice picture. After king h6, Georgia played h4. Good enough, also leading to checkmate. It's mate in 2 from here. But after king h5, it's mate in 1. Queen takes h7 is checkmate, and Georgia had won this game. Well done, Georgia. Never give up is indeed the main theme of this game. A wise grandmaster once said that nobody ever saved a game of chess by resigning. Black clearly didn't know what to do with his large material advantage. He swapped a rook at the wrong time and decided to go on an all-out attack, which was not an attack at all. There was only one check that he could give. But Georgia, you played very well. After losing your queen, you fought like a lion, posed your opponent practical problems, and when black panicked, you grabbed your chance with both hands and won the game. Well done, Georgia, and thank you very much for sending in this game. I hope you enjoyed Georgia's adventure in this game. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.